Raji, awake, my child.
Looking for a game to review from Netflix's catalog, I picked Raji, an ancient epic. Originally released in 2020, Raji has been one of the few games from India to have a multi-platform release and has picked up praise for its traditional Indian setting and decent story. But how does it hold up as a mobile game, and why should you pick this game from Netflix's catalog? Let's find out.
गोलू और राजी भाई और बहन हैं।
Since I have beaten this game before, I did not finish it again, partially because the story can be a bit of a mess, and partially because I didn't really get used to the touchscreen controls. The story revolves around a circus performer Raji, whose brother Golu is kidnapped by demons. Now, Raji must search for her brother and is helped by the gods along the way. It is a nice reversal of the traditional gender roles where the guy needs to save the princess. A lot of the story is narrated in the form of a conversation between two Hindu gods, Vishnu and Durga, who watch over Raji's progress. As she goes forward, Raji learns that the demon who is behind all this, Mahabalasura, has kidnapped several children and has plans to wage war against the gods. Soon, the story shifts from a rescue mission into a battle of good versus evil, with Raji being given powerful weapons by the gods to use against the demons. In the end, we get a hint at a sequel which has not yet been announced officially. This is a platforming game, so you can expect a lot of jumping up and down, left and right. When I first played the game on an Xbox, the controls felt fine, but playing the same game on a mobile phone felt like an entirely different thing. To be fair, the controls are in line with what other mobile games in the same genre have, so it's not as if this game is trying to complicate things. But the few mobile games I play are all much simpler, so it took me a while to get used to the different buttons. Putting aside the control scheme, the general gameplay loop is to go from one level to the other, clearing enemies along the way and listening to any background lore offered by the gods. It's a rather simple game for anyone familiar with the genre and can be easily completed in 4 to 5 hours. The difficulty setting allows you to make the game very easy or as tough as getting killed in one hit, which is a nice option for those preferring to focus on either the story or on the gameplay. You get different weapons as you go deeper into the game, but I found that the starter Trishul weapon is powerful enough to clear most of the game. The platforming sections do get a bit trickier as you go deeper, but the only challenge here is getting used to the control scheme so that you don't actually press the wrong button at the wrong time. Perhaps the best way to describe the gameplay here would be decent. It's not boring in any sense of the word, but it also doesn't challenge you too much or offer any memorable moments.
ये सच में बहुत सुंदर है। ये यहाँ कैसे आया?
The environment art is where the game truly shines. Since it's so rare to see a traditional Indian setting in video games, it immediately sets this game apart from most others in the market. However, the camera is zoomed out so much that you can barely see Raji, much less on a tiny mobile phone screen. Since the cutscenes are presented in a 2D puppet style, you hardly ever see Raji properly, making it a bit difficult to connect with the character. Coming back to the cutscenes, I remember reading somewhere that the budget constraints forced the developers to use this style, but I feel it adds to the charm of the game. In this department too, the Indian setting allows for a sound not often heard in the video game world. While none of the tracks are outright memorable, they do the job of immersing you into the setting and conveying the proper emotions when necessary. Special mention has to be given to the voice cast, which was a bit odd in the original English version but a lot more tolerable in the Hindi version, which I used for this review.
मैंने उससे कहा था कि उसे शक्तिशाली बनना होगा। उसकी यात्रा अनजानी और बहुत मुश्किलों से भरी होगी।
Sadly, the Hindi version seems to be a direct translation of the English dialogue, which can sound a bit odd at times. Still, the option to play the game in Hindi allows further immersion into the setting of the story, and I am glad that the developer added this option after the launch of the game. To someone outside India, Raji would be one of many indie games to choose from in any given year, and the game relies heavily on its unique setting to sell itself. Sadly, the game itself does fall short in being memorable and brings very little that is new to the table. From an Indian point of view, Raji is a flag bearer for the still growing Indian game development scene and has shown the way to others hoping to share their stories with the world. At a recent conference, the developers confirmed that the game has turned a profit, which is really good news. I hope that the team continues to build on the foundation of this game and delivers a sequel that lives up to this franchise's potential. If you have a Netflix subscription, do give this game a try on your phone, or you can get it on PC and home consoles as well.